Welcome to Martial Arts and Medu Neter. This program is dedicated to the illumination of ancient African culture and civilization. And we want to show how that ancient culture connects and influences cultures in the modern world. And in the spirit of great scientists and teachers such as Dr. Francis Quells Wilson, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Dr. Anthony Browder, and of course Dr. Susan Suzar. In that spirit, I will continue to expose misconceptions and misunderstandings about ancient African civilization. Let's begin. Did spacemen build the pyramids? Of course not. The first great step pyramid was built by King Dozer, and his vizier Imhotep was the head architect. The large complex of pyramids at Giza, the Great Pyramid, was built by Pharaoh Khufu. His relatives later on built the second and third Great Pyramids at the complex of Giza. Their names was Pharaoh Menkaure and Pharaoh Khafre. It's important to note that these four Great Pyramids were built in a little bit over 100 years. This marks a heyday, a renaissance for African culture. Between 3300 BC and 2800 BC, these grand architectures were built, as well as the invention of paper and, of course, writing. This was a heyday, a boom for African culture and history. Also, you had horticulture, agriculture, you had mathematics, numbers, you had forms of hydrology, forms of geology, and geography being formulated during that period. Yes, I said geography. North, south, east, and west. Those concepts do not come from Europe. They come from Africa. The zero longitude orientation was in ancient Kemet at the Temple of Luxor. It was moved to England about 100 years ago. Okay, where did the people come from? Well, the people who lived in ancient Egypt came from Chad, Sahara Desert, Libya, Nubia, Sudan, Ethiopia. All these people moved into the Nile Valley regions. The great populations moved in around 8000 BC after the Worm Glaciation. Things got hot. All the grasslands that were in Chad, Sudan, and Libya dried up. People moved towards the water to survive. They finally, around 5000 BC, they created several city-states along the Nile. These city-states were consolidated and conquered under a set of kings called the Horus Kings. Now, these Horus Kings, they moved up north from the Sudan, came down the Blue Nile, and went into ancient Egypt. They created their capital in the central ancient Egypt, and the capital was called Memphis or Menhotep. From this capital stronghold, they conquered and consolidated the peoples and created a nation state called Kemet, or sometimes called the two lands, North and South Kemet. The reason they call it two lands is because one part of the lands they were different. One part was marshy and delta area. The other part was the cataracts, were rocky and moved up into jungle type territories. Anyway, so that's it for now. Testing.